Good evening. This is Josh Castle, the Dungeon Master. Welcome to our game as we adventure into the land of Mallarend, or the normal races of D&D if not tread for generations. A place of mysterious origin, inhabited by a beast folk, who are as varied and numerous as the animals they resemble. This story is about a group of these people. We join them as they find their path in the chaos of war, as predators collide for survival and conquest. Will our heroes become another meal, or casualties of war, or will they answer the call of the Beastlands? Remember to follow us on social media and Discord, as well as YouTube. Like and subscribe. Thank you.
You can be a descendant and a cultist, but usually dragons are solitary. Well, depending on what kind of dragon it is, but
So let me force a perspective on you.
okay.
From what you and your friends, most notably Toadie, have dug up about the dragon, it has been doing countless magical experiments on its own. The mages that it doesn't kill, it kidnaps for these means. And it seems as though he's magically produced races of semi-dragons to worship him.
Oh, okay. And this is the dragon who hates magic.
Correct. The great hypocrite, right?
Yeah.
He
okay.
hates other people using magic.
Yeah. The mindset here is that mortals have proven that they are not responsible enough, not worthy enough to wield magic. He, of course, is a superior being. So, suck on that, mortal.
Have I found you
Yeah,
yet?
but I don't think any of these guys can can get away with calling the great dragon daddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're kind of like his mutated offspring.
That's pretty much what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
The theme of today is it okay to create life? This topic to be brought up on the Dirk and You program.
That sounds like a bad. It sounds like a bad country song. You and Dirk.
Dirk and You.
I had arrow, but you took it.
There's just an endless amount of jokes. You know what, Ethan? I take it back. I love you.
I'm really
You too.
I'm really not their father. We're not related at all. I don't even know who they are. I've never met them before. They're strangers to me. Yeah.
That's ouch.
It's okay. I didn't know my father at birth.
Yeah.
What's a father?
I
Oh,
know
man.
we're both. I know we're both.
Kind of like the thing that created you.
That would be
A tiny
Doctor.
bearded man.
Yeah. He had
But
goggles
for him, it was
and a beard.
It was a cat instead of a bearded man.
Okay, back to the task at hand. I want to find you and get back to the group. I've got an idea, but I need to talk to the group.
Dirk would like to take one last look, but this time he's going to cast a certain spell. Hunter's Cunning.
Oh?
Yeah. It enhances their senses and insight into the immediate environment. Until the spell ends, the target gains advantage on wisdom perception and wisdom survival checks, ignoring the effects of natural terrain.
Really? Well, that's fucking awesome.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Suddenly you can see through the blizzard. Give me a perception check with advantage.
Yes. And I'm still just checking for something that's just completely like.
Oh man, we should really be worried about that.
Perception 19.
19.
Mm-hmm. You cast your spell and your eyes transform into that of a supernatural predator. You pierce the veil. You give a good look around. You don't notice any excess movement coming from the outpost. The wyverns are staying still, being covered slightly in snow. But as you scan the horizon, you see a pair of small flying figures that appear to be dragons.
About the same color.
Yeah. Yep. They are significantly smaller than what you thought they would be.
All right. I guess I'll head back down once I see Cites and you come from the place then.
Okay. Ascites and you do meet up, and you feel pretty confident that your presence here has not been detected. So you head back to the rendezvous point. Under the cover of darkness, using the ways of stealth, you trudge through the snow with the storm at full blast at your back. Give me perception checks with disadvantage, please.
Is this also including my hunter's cutting part?
You've already seen this.
Oh, okay.
14.
All right. Ascites, your predator's instincts tells you that you should be very afraid. You sense a much greater predator nearby. And it tells you that you should duck, hide, remain hidden.
Well, I'll hide as quickly as possible, as close to the shrine as I can get.
This is on your way back to the shrine.
Okay, I'll hide and see what's going on.
Cool. You, noticing this, do you follow suit?
What are you doing, Cat?
Something not right, you.
I just fall down.
Through into the snow. Overhead flies two small dragons. By small, I mean large, but smaller than adult. Let's see. Ascites hasn't actually seen a dragon before.
I have two.
But what? When?
I haven't seen one on this campaign, but I've seen a dragon before.
I mean, I know you have, but dragons are really rare in the Beastlands. Anyway, Dirk, you have seen a dragon before, the blind one, remember? Dirk?
He fell asleep.
No? I thought you said you. Sorry.
No, Dirk. You have seen a dragon before, yes?
Yes.
You remember the blind one that spewed poison?
Yep.
This one's about that size. There are two of them. And they fly directly overhead, the two stealthy creatures, and collide with the ground next to the tower. Let out a couple of roars, and all the figures start bowing. The only one that can see this is Dirk. Everyone else is blinded by the storm. It was impossible to miss the dragons flying overhead, though. You see that there is some conversation taking place between the forces of the tower and the dragons, and then moments later, they lift back into the air and fly in two separate directions.
Where did they originally come from?
The north.
Okay. Well, is the Cites and you back just yet?
Shortly.
Okay. I'll still remain vigilant at my post till I see
Cool.
them.
Yeah. That shortly later they come walking up.
I fly down. So anybody see those dragons?
Yeah, we did.
They came from the north. And then they split off in two separate directions.
The town is full of mutated dragon folk, sort of. Other than the two wyverns, not really anything I'm concerned about, but I do have an idea. I want to talk it over with everybody else.
Hey,
Cool.
you.
Yes.
Do you know how long dragons can fly for?
I was trained to identify certain things about them.
Okay.
I don't know. Do I know?
Give me a check. Hold on. Let me figure out what kind of check. What applies to dragons here?
You.
Hold on. Don't get distracted. Nature.
Oh, no.
Give me a nature check. You're not sure.
Can I
Hey,
speak
you.
meta knowledge?
Um,
I want to remind Dirk that he does have a book that is all about beasts.
oh, that's the thing, yeah.
I don't know if it would list exactly how long a dragon could fly.
I'm pretty sure they had one about dragons, though, didn't you?
Yes.
Dirk,
But-
would you like to give me a nature check?
Different dragons, different ages, different strengths, different flying time.
Well, from what I know, birds can usually fly up to about 15,000 kilometers before they get tired. So,
Birds lighter than dragons.
exactly. Which means they would have a shorter span. But their muscles are also built for that.
But if they just ate lunch, they don't fly very far.
Hold on, Josh. I'm getting you that nature check. It's just flipping
Hey,
through.
you, Tin Man,
Yes.
can you resolve the 3n plus 1?
I got a 14.
For what?
Okay. So you do remember a passage from the book that says dragons of the largest size category recorded can fly for at least 22 hours a day. A little bit longer for most breeds. And in that time, they can cover between 230 and 260 miles.
10 miles an hour?
That's what this is saying. So the raw fast travel speed for a dragon flying is at 80. 80. What the fuck? What kind of math is this?
If it flies at 80 miles an hour, but it only goes 230 miles in a day, that's 10 miles an
That's-
hour.
80 feet. 80 feet.
Yeah, 80.
80 feet
Which
per
means
seconds.
Yeah,
But
that's
if it dashes,
times.
yeah.
So it's times you know, 10 times 6, right?
No, 5,280 feet is 1 mile. So 5,280 divided by 80 will give you the miles per hour.
All right, let's math out Dragonflight here.
You said their
5,000
movement
what
speed's
now?
80?
5,280 feet is in 1 mile.
No, the
Divide that
Dragonflight
by
speed.
80 feet. Dragon speed is 80 feet per second.
No, per 6
So-
seconds per movement cycle, I mean.
Oh, 6 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 480 feet per minute. So 5,280 divided by 480 will give you how many minutes?
They should be
It
able
takes
to
to travel
move 8,000 feet an hour, so it should, I mean... hold on. Let's try this again.
8,000 feet an hour? That's only like a mile and a half. He'd drop out of the sky.
That's what I'm saying, is it's 6 seconds, so 6 seconds times 10 would be 60 seconds, which is 1 minute. Times 60, that's what I'm doing wrong here.
Times 60 again to give you an hour.
48,000. Yeah, so, 48,000 feet per hour, according to 80 feet per 6 seconds. That's not...
That's 2 miles an hour. He'd drop out of the sky.
Yeah, that's like just 8.5 to 9 miles an hour or something like that. Like, that's not even 10, because it's 5,000 what? So it'd have to be 50.
5,280 feet is 1 mile.
Yeah, so it'd have to be 52,000 for it to be 10 miles an hour, and it's 48,000, so it's like 8.5 to 9.
I guess what I was trying to confirm here was if dragons only have a certain rate that they can fly in a short period of time, and if from the north we actually see the mountains. Well, I don't know if we still see the mountains to the north, but I was trying to see if maybe that was kind of like a range that they may have gone in that direction, and maybe that's where the dragon is.
Well, theoretically, if they were, let's say they flew in 100-mile or 50-mile radius, that would be 100 miles total. So half of the flying distance to the outpost and half of the flying distance back will give you their location. But what if they just flew 100 feet to the outpost and then they flew 4,000 feet someplace else?
Right.
So you're still going to have a large area to search there, even if you do it at 50% or 1/2 of their total flight time.
Yeah, there's a ton of caves in these mountains, too.
Yeah, that would take forever.
But if we're talking about the amount of miles that a dragon will travel in a single day, I mean, they're not above just, napping. They don't even need to sleep raw. They just do. They have an urge to hibernate for, large periods of time.
Gotcha.
This may be out of character, but did you all ever see Aragon?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a
Have you
horrible
ever
movie.
Yeah, I know. Have you ever read The Dragon Riders of Pern?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed. I was
Thank you.
starting to feel old.
I mean, I'm not going to say you're not, but
Good books.
I'm
are
also
good
well
books,
read.
man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. I'm not going to tell you you're a spring chicken, but
I'm definitely not a
good books are
spring
good books.
chicken.
Anyway, so yeah, you got this outpost, and right now you're occupying the space of a tiny shrine in a little pocket on the side of a mountain in the middle of a blizzard. And these dragons flew off after conferring with some of the troops, 2 different directions. One traveled south and one traveled west.
Okay, y'all want to hear my idea? after seeing the outpost, it appears as though the inhabitants are not necessarily direct descendants of the dragon himself, but they appear to be some kind of mutated form of whatever it is he's been doing. Now, I've got two thoughts on this, and you all tell me which one you like the best, or we don't have to do either one of them. I'm really not too fond of either of them, but these are just a couple of thoughts I had. One, we set up an ambush point at the village where one of us goes in and attempts to talk to or reason or get directions, not necessarily to where the dragon is, but we could appear to be travelers who have maybe gone the wrong direction and we're asking for directions. But typically a little thing like me is not, I would be eating lunch. I was thinking more Tin Man could do that because he's not like any of us. Or we could, it will take longer and more risky. We could sneak in and get as close as we can and maybe spend the night and try to overhear some conversations, maybe try to get some information, people not knowing they're being listened to. Eavesdrop. Yeah, we could eavesdrop overnight, one night, and try to get some info that way.
Well, if they converse in dragon, or some kind of draconic language, I can help out with that. Because I got a spell to talk to dragons.
I think the moment the best bet would be the War Machine.
I can speak Draconic.
Even better.
Can you pretend to be confused? I know you are for real, but can you pretend to be confused?
No, bad language skills, terrible communicator. I understand.
No, that's a good thing. I don't know, what do you all think? The only other thing we got is 2 dragons came to visit and one flew south and the other flew west, I think. And they came from the north. Doesn't tell us much. But these are definitely experiments. Sometimes it's possible to find within a group such as this an experiment that went wrong, an experiment that's not right. They just comply, but they don't really like what they're doing. Very difficult to find those, though. It would take more than one night. So we could either recon overnight, stay stealthy, or we send 10 men in with maybe Dirk and try to get as much information as we can without appearing to be obvious. But right now we're no closer to the dragon than we were when we started, as far as I know.
Well,
there's definitely too many for us to fight.
I can try to disguise somebody. If it's one thing me and Dirtle knew how to do best was disguises. You think that would help?
Well, I'll tell you this. If a dragon came by, I would be an excellent distraction. So I could lead the dragon away from you and try to hide. But then again, I could join Dirtle.
Knowing what I know about dragons, you're likely to join Dirtle.
I am kind of small, though.
Yeah.
I could duck in a cave. I could duck in a cave really quickly.
It's true.
Wow.
So, we're going to go ahead and think about this over the course of the week and reconvene next Tuesday. As we're about out of time.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. But good job on what we did get done. Between
met
that
a
Nat
Commodore.
20 for the... What was it?
We met a Commodore 64 with legs.
Yeah, you got a new companion. You got a Nat 20 on a religion check and managed to, convince a goddess to make some really bad weather. You successfully scouted out a enemy position, and you successfully made it to the enemy position despite walking through snow and having plenty of opportunity to fuck up relations with the Ogre Lich's minions.
We could always go back and recruit the Griffins.
Well, perhaps that's best left for when your organization expands a bit.
Big battle.
I was thinking that they would make perfect mounts if you can find someone to train them. And we also have resources for building animal pens that can house griffins. So anyway, that's a discussion for another time. Thank you all for coming. And also, everyone, please continue to spread the word about our art competition. Hopefully we can gain some traction on that soon. All right, good night, guys.
All right, good night.
Follow us on all major social media, Discord, Twitch, and as always, thank you for joining us.
See you tomorrow at 4.